Welcome back to Studio Chatter. As we hit those senior years, there may come a time when we just can't or shouldn't live alone. And with some suggestions, welcome Scott Chamberlain from Legacy House Assisted Living to the table.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
So tell us about some assisted living suggestions and maybe when would be a good time to make that decision for mom and dad.
Yeah, that's a great question. As you can imagine, a lot of families have a really challenging decision when their mother, father, parents, or in-laws, uncles, aunts are to a point where they feel like they're not safe, or they feel like they want some more support for them. And that comes at a time where people say, you know, either I've been caring for my parents and I want to be their son or daughter again, and I don't want to be a caregiver. Or a lot of times, sadly, it comes after an incident, a fall, or something has happened that where the doctor of the resident says, "Hey, it's time for you to be in an environment where you have some more support."
Okay, so tell us then, what is the difference between assisted living and maybe a full-time nursing home?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people look back and they'll think, okay, nursing home, a bed, a curtain, a bed, and stinky and sterile. And we are a step below that in terms of acuity, meaning the residents that live at Legacy House and other assisted livings, they don't need that high level of care. We can support them in a lot of ways: medication management, helping them with showering and hygiene needs and other things, assistance with what they call activities of daily living. But we don't have full-time nurses around the clock. We have certified nursing assistants that are there to support residents and be proactive in checking in on them and making sure that their needs are met.
So not sickly, really sickly elderly.
Yeah, we do have some people that need a lot of support, and we have some people that drive their own cars and come and go as they please, and we don't have rooms, we have apartments. So we have studio, 1 bedroom, and 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartments.
So ladies, I was going to say, I've been to Legacy. You guys are members of the Chamber of Commerce. I remember having ribbon cuttings there and getting a grand tour. It's truly like a dorm in your later years of life. It sounds fantastic. Because like he just said, there's studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartments. They have a library, they have a theater room, they have the dining hall, they have entertainment. You have activities where buses come and pick you up, right? What else am I missing?
Yeah, so food service, we provide 3 meals a day plus snacks, and you can either have the entree or an alternative menu item that are always available. There are lots of different support in different ways, housekeeping, laundry services as well.
Get to go to the gym.
Ooh, do you have a gym or a workout room?
Yeah, so we have some exercise equipment.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think what I like about it is in your elderly years, there's the loneliness factor. And being in that type of environment, you're reconnecting with people. You're with other people your age, you're at lunch, you can communicate, you can sit around a table and share your story and your history or just talk politics or whatever interests you.
Yeah.
You are forming these new friendships.
Yeah, that's what I love about communities like us. All of the legacy houses that you'll see up and down the Wasatch Front, and we have locations out of the state as well. Most of our buildings have over 70 apartments. We have 96 apartments. Wow. So right now we have 96 residents living there. And so you go from staying at home, which people love the comfort of home, but you go from staying at home to moving into a small community where you can form new friendships. You've got neighbors across the hall, and you can, socialize at lunch and other events, and that is really a stark contrast from having your kids come visit you once a day,
or once a week.
Yeah, in some cases. Yeah.
And who's your oldest? Not name anyone. Your oldest resident. Yeah.
So I'll tell you about 2 residents that I can think of. So we have a resident right now. She is about to turn 106 years old.
Wow.
and you would not know it to see her. She looks like she's about 75, and she doesn't use a cane or a walker. She's really an amazing woman. Another funny story, our very first resident that moved in back in the summer of 2013, she's still living with us, and you mentioned exercise equipment. We have a new step machine that's kind of like a recumbent bike, but you just move your feet back and forth like this, and she does 5,000 steps a day.
No way.
Wow.
She's a rock. Yeah, she's awesome.
I love
amazing.
it. I always like to talk price because I think that sometimes is the final determination of whether or not you're going to have a loved one in an assisted living or skilled nursing, or so. What kind of price range?
Yeah, great question. So for us, all of our apartments are private apartments, and we range anywhere from $2,900 for a studio apartment a month to our memory care apartments, which are a supported, secure environment with richer staffing ratios. Those are $4,400, and that's an all-inclusive rate. So it just kind of depends on what your need is. We have really, like as I mentioned before, residents on both ends of the spectrum with care needs, and it's an individualized approach for each resident.
And those rates are very competitive throughout the county.
Yeah.
With my line of work, I've met with other care centers too, and it's a need. There's been so many centers pop up in the valley in the last several years, and that's due to
it anticipated what they say in the industry, the silver tsunami, all the baby boomers that are going to be turning 75, 80, you know.
What's the youngest? How young can you be to go in?
We consider ourselves a senior community. So we have people in their 70s. I think we've got a couple people in their 60s that need a little more support.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
But any of that, so when you say all inclusive, so that always includes their daily menu items, and they can opt out if they want to. It sounds like if they have like a small kitchenette or something, if they want to make your own food.
Yeah, great question. So all of our assisted living apartments have their own kitchenette, and residents, and so they've got a microwave and a refrigerator and a sink and some area that they could prepare basic things if they wanted to. Most of them don't. But our memory care support is all inclusive. Those apartments don't have kitchenettes, but any and all care that's needed is included in that rate. Our assisted living, because we have such a wide range of residents, the price varies based off of what their need is. It's really personalized.
I like that.
Well, I'm sure they look forward to socializing too. I mean, if the three of us were living there in our studios, certainly we would look forward to spending time with each other every day.
Chris,
right?
my husband, would probably want to sit in the apartment and not go see anybody. So it probably fits all types of needs. Some people might not want to go down to the dining hall and see anybody that day.
Yeah, whatever suits you.
Right.
I like it. I like that it's
lovely.
being offered. I know, and it is. These places are just so beautiful and grandiose. When you walk in, you just feel like it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it's really nice for the people, the elderly people that live now. They have so many options. 40 years ago it was the nursing home or not, and so it's really nice to have options for people.
Right, it really has changed. From what we probably used to think of the traditional old school nursing home to what they are
different
now. Well, if somebody is interested in contacting you for maybe their parents or loved ones, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can go on our website. It's Legacy House Spanish Fork, or LegacySpanishFork.com, or call us 801-892-2000.
Right.
And if you want to check out Google reviews, you look us up on Google and.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing that information.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
That's good.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, spring is coming. Don't go anywhere.